joining us, John Gizzi, Newsmax White House correspondent, and Josh Orton, senior advisor for Progressives United and the former aide to Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. John and Josh, we thank you both for taking time this morning. And John, as you are clad in the journalist's hat, somewhat Walter Winchell-esque, let me ask you to put on your political hat this morning. Should Scott Walker be worried about fending off this Democratic challenge?
Well, certainly, Governor Walker always runs scared. I can recall being in Wisconsin 2 years ago on the day he faced a recall that was watched as far away as France and Britain, and he campaigned right up to the end. Polls showed it a dead heat. This reporter sent in two possible stories to use, and guess what? He won with 54% of the vote, a margin larger than in his initial election 2 years before that, making him the only governor in American history who was recalled and survived. Given that kind of record, he should run scared, he will run scared, but I predict he'll win.
So there it is from Brother Gizzi. Scott Walker will win. Josh, you probably have a different point of view. Let me ask the question this way. If Walker does not win, does it completely dash any presidential ambitions he might entertain?
Yeah, I think he's in big trouble if he loses. Look, Scott Walker wants to run for president as a guy who's uniquely qualified to pass far-right conservative ideals in purple territory. And that's what he's trying to sell himself as in Wisconsin. The problem is, in the last months here, and especially in the last couple of weeks, is the radical side of his politics when it comes to reproductive rights, when it comes to the minimum wage, are really coming out. And as we start to see, independents are starting to move back to Mary Burke. We saw Robert Costa from the Washington Post say, you know, he's never seen Scott Walker so scared on the campaign trail. And I really agree that Walker's got the race of his life on his hands.
Well, John Gizzi, you said Walker should run scared. He will run scared. It is different this time around than the recall 2 years ago because Walker got a lot of mileage out of the process itself, saying, look, I just got elected and I'm turning around and having to go through this recall. It's patently unfair, and that seemed to work. But now in a midterm with traditional passions on the line, Mary Burke is very strong in recent polling. Why do you think Mary Burke's numbers are holding up?
She certainly is.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, let me point out something. Josh said earlier he's passing an extreme right agenda. He's talking about Act 10 in Wisconsin, which said that some public employees at the state, municipal, and county level have to pay a little bit more for their pension and health care. And a little bit more means just that because they were paying nothing in it. They pay far less than people in the private sector pay to put in their own 401ks and health insurance plan, and it got the state out of a deficit and left it with a surplus. To me, that's not far right or an extreme agenda, it's common sense. And don't take my word for it.
I'm not actually.
Just a minute, Josh.
I'm certainly talking about Act 10, but I'm not just talking about Act 10. Scott Walker pretty clearly 2 debates ago revealed that he doesn't really believe in a minimum wage. He's extreme on abortion. He believes in no exceptions for rape or incest. He's tried to hide that. He's tried to run from it. And frankly, I think that he's even made it harder for women to hold corporations accountable for not paying them equal wages. So
fair enough, Josh. We know you're on the hustings and hitting the talking points, and God bless you. We understand that, pal. But
well, what I'm saying is it goes beyond Act 10. And
none of which have anything to do with being a governor, by the way.
Here's my last question, quickly to both of you. 20 seconds left. We're hearing President Obama is going to show up in Milwaukee. Will that hurt Mary Burke? First to you, John Gizzi.
Well, let's see if she welcomes him there and holds his hand up. The president, as any president would, will rally the base. I don't think it will be enough to beat Scott Walker, and like a lot of controversial politicians, I think that he'll run ahead of his poll numbers.
Fair enough.
And I predict a win along the lines of his recall.
15 seconds to you, Josh Orton. Does Obama help or hurt Mary Burke?
Absolutely. This is all about the numbers. The polls show that people are coming over to Burke. This is about turnout, and President Obama is coming here to help that.
All right, we'll see what happens. Josh Orton, John Gizzi, thanks. Stand by. There is more to discuss on our midterm roundtable, and we'll get back to it right after this.